Ballyrunners comes from the Equal Youth Project, which is an interagency project comprising of many agencies in Ballymun, including the Youth Resource Centre, Drugs Task Force, YAP, Trinity Comprehensive and Probation Service. Coordination is between myself, I work with the Ballymun Job Centre, and Rachel Lillis, who works with Probation Service.
My name is Rachel Lillis and I work with the Probation Service. My involvement is as a coordinator, and I suppose alongside with Pat we created the project 5 years ago now. So it was both of us realising that we're working with the same group of young people, that they're presenting with the same issues, whether that's early school leaving, criminal history, addiction problems, and that they were kind of hard to reach and no other services were capable of engaging with them.
We was in prison for 12 months and I got in contact with a worker called Lorna Pell, and she recommended that I'd come to this course that helped me get out and rehabilitate myself, and it helped me achieve goals in life.
I was involved with crime and drugs as well. I was in and out court all the time, smoking weed and whatever, and I was just my life was going down. And then I went to the job centre to try and get my life back on track, and Pat explained all about this Ballyrunners thing and I found it interesting, signed up, joined, and I love it, it's great.
The whole point of the Ballyrunners is to get them involved in training and to build up a relationship, because you're working with them very closely, to encourage them and motivate them to go on to more, I suppose, relevant training to go on and get sustainable employment.
So with the GASHCA, we're looking at obviously the different modules, which would be personal development, community involvement, physical activity, and then there's an adventure day. But with that kind of spectrum, we're allowed to try so many different modules. So we're looking at dance and drama, cookery, gardening, football.
We found it grand, yeah, it's grand. It's great waking up and knowing you have something to do for the day, and when you get it done, it's like a relief. Like you achieved something today instead of standing out and doing nothing all day.
We did dance, drama, cooking. We went to the cabin centre, we went go-karting, you know, so there's a good side, fun side where you go-karting in the cabin centre, then there's the serious side where you have to do your dancing, you have to do your drama, your cooking in order to get your GASHCA award.
So it's a universal award. This actually goes down on their CV and shows I've given this commitment to do voluntary work in my community and kind of work on my own personal development. So the young people are particularly interested in that because they suddenly see themselves streamlined with other young people, and they get a big kick out of the fact that neither Pat or I have this, so they're already one up on us.
Well, I mean, we've had various things. We currently doing the cooking. We do that for 6 weeks. But it's a cooking program. It's not just about cooking. It is about cooking healthy meals. It's about understanding what your body needs to be healthy.
Now, the course is a HSE approved one again, so it's not something that we're just plucking out of the sky. That we're keen really to have things accredited.
Or you use brown rice. You change over to brown rice.
For the start, we're having potato and leek soup. For the main course, we're having chicken stir fry with carrots, red peppers, yellow peppers, peas and mushrooms. And for dessert, we're having apple crumble.
And again, for Pat and I, what's so lovely to see is in the first week, people don't know what certain vegetables are, and there's certainly a complete desistance where I'm not touching that, I don't want to try it. And then when it's all cooked, and they've realised, you know, how easy it was and the effort they've put into it, and they're looking for seconds, and that is a huge plus. And now they're going home going, I've seen how easy it is, and I'm actually going to do it in my own families.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, and what kind of bread would you use?
I do the free tag module soccer skills with the Ballyrunners. This year I found we've got a lot more numbers who are staying with us and sticking to the course and doing really well. A lot of participation in the course.
We spend maybe more time with the lads through the football and that. Like,
The guards are the big draw when we play at the community leagues.
we got roasted most of the time, to be honest with you. We're all getting old in years.
It was a good challenge. I think there was a bit of relief there that needed to be a bit of stress that needed to be relieved, yeah, playing against them, yeah.
Did you beat them?
We won, yeah. We won the league, we did, yeah.
That's the big draw. They love the girls. They love the girls. And before you go out and say, oh, I'm going to get him, I'm going to get him. By the end of it, they're having a great match, and it's great by the end of it.
You would see them in a different light, like, you know, and you kind of see their own personalities and that, whereas if you're just working in the job, you might see what they're getting up to or what they're not getting up to and that, like, you know, so yeah, it does, you see them in a different light.
The girls love it, we love it, so it works well.
Then with the drama, which is one of their favourite modules, it's all about improvisation, being conscious of your tone, so that they're aware sometimes, they're not aware rather, when they're shouting and roaring. They just think that that's their natural tone, so you're recognising that other people might find that intimidating or threatening, so to lower that.
Gardening is usually really about the community, about being out there doing, you know, some good in your community, so it's community gardens.
My name is Maura Hurley. I work with Global Action Plan Ireland and my role is community gardener. So the lads probably worked for 3 to 4 months on this project. So it's a circular sort of a keyhole shaped raised bed, and the centre is where you actually compost all of your garden waste and your kitchen waste. So anything that's uncooked can actually get composted in. So that will eventually break down and feed the soil surrounding the actual compost area. They planted up the area, and then around that bed they created a 4-year crop rotational sort of bed system.
Dug out all the muck and all, we planted, put down fertiliser and the stuffed bark and everything. We planted lettuces, all different things, even pumpkins and everything that we brought before Halloween. They were able to work very well as a team and work within, you know, even in the 4 plots, they were able to divide up and sort of share activities, and one was coaching the other, and so that I had a real strong sense of sort of a team effort. So a very committed bunch and hugely energetic, and just had a huge, the physicality has been a huge contribution to the garden, because we have a lot of volunteers here who might not be able-bodied, so they were able to sort of bring that level of energy to the garden, which has been wonderful.
It's like a peace of mind when you're gardening. If you're into it, like it's just relaxing and just taking your time and everything like that. So yeah, it's helped me all right. Yeah.
They come back week after week after week and they engage, and also it's good because they're also working alongside other community members. So there's a sense that they're proving to their own peers and their own neighbours who are passing the street behind them that actually they're doing something for their community and they're engaging in something really positive.
Then we've done graffiti removal, litter campaigns. So it's again about young people being invested in their area and taking kind of pride. So the guys that are picking up rubbish one day certainly won't be the ones that are throwing it the next. So we're getting them to think more civic-mindedly.
And Trish asked me would I get involved in, you know, training the lads up, because part of it was to get the Goshka Award to do a 5-mile run. Everybody has strengths and qualities, and if we zone in on them and pull the goodness out of them, you know, they'll start to feel good about themselves, and when they're feeling good about themselves, things become easier, like learning, you know, like everyday life, like issues, like being able to talk about issues. And if we don't do that, well then it's just coming back at the person and they're feeling not good about themselves, and then it's coming out in all different ways, like breaking the law, you know, cutting corners and taking chances.
I first got involved in the Ballyrunners 2 years ago as a social work student on placement in the probation service with Rachel, and then I've been involved since as a tutor with doing a dance programme with the Ballyrunners. I think definitely both years I've experienced a little bit of initial reluctance, and it takes a little while for people to get comfortable, because I think it is a big ask. It's a big ask to ask a group of predominantly, you know, young men to dance around a dance studio when they've never done it before. I think it's really impressive because I guess maybe there's a perception of dance that girls dance, or, you know, not dance isn't for everyone, but they really kind of, you know, after I suppose seeing it, first of all, they get involved, and I think it really kind of breaks down barriers. It's really good for their self-esteem, and even to have the confidence to maybe move across the room with other people watching you. I suppose it takes a lot of concentration and skill as well. It's that thing of it's something different, it's something they've never had the opportunity to try before. So it's new, it's a challenge, which can be quite exciting, I think. I think what's amazing about this year's group is you've got people who have returned to do their Silver Gashka Award, so there's progression, which is really important.
We're trying to empower then the silver participants to go, look, you need to show leadership qualities, you need to show maturity, punctuality, good participation, and be a positive role model. So we'd love to see more of that.
And I'm working with Pat since I'm 15 or 16. Not about 16, I'm working with Pat, you know what I mean? She's put me through a lot, like, helped me a lot, like.
Pat's fantastic. If it wasn't for Pat around here, it'd be probably... There is other people here that are strong as well, but not as strong as what Pat and what she does for us all, like. And Rachel, they push us. They push you to do things. They won't let you miss days. Pat probably saved me from getting locked back up in prison, I'd say. Definitely.
Pat and Rachel make us want to do it.
Why do you think?
They're good motivators.
In what way do you think?
They're just kind, and they're very nice to us, and they treat us well, and they just, if they say we're all going to go karting, we'd be all like, oh yeah, great, go karting with Pat and Rachel, let's go. Whereas outside, if Pat and Rachel wouldn't ask, we'd never think of it. We'd be just like, let's just hang around all day.
The link is there. You see, the relationship is built up with the job centre, so they know that there's a different path out there for them. You know, so there's a lot of career guidance for them right through. If they go through the Ballyrunners and they finish the Ballyrunners, they make changes.
And ultimately that has a knock-on effect on their criminal behaviour, on their drug use, on their desire to, I suppose, return to education. So for Pat and I and our agencies, I think those objectives are always fulfilled. We're just doing it in a very covert way, that we're not going in preaching about stop using drugs, stop getting into crime. We're teaching them to have more pride in themselves, more pride in their community, develop an awareness of other people, have empathy for others.
You go to do things that you never thought you'd do. Like we went to the Cabin Adventure Centre, we were jumping off things we had to jump and stand on a pole. And it was all weird for me, like, because I'm terrified of heights now, but I got to do something like that. And even other lads that was there that never did anything like that went and did it and got involved. And I think that if they get groups of lads to do the Ballyrunners again and do what we did, it kind of get them together instead of like them all kind of got to fight with each other or hang around on blocks and getting themselves into trouble like the way like we'd be like if we didn't do the Ballyrunners. But all the lads are fantastic and they're a great group of lads, and I enjoyed so much being here with them, and I'd do it again with them all again, no problem.
Now some of them have already moved on, which kind of changes the dynamic of the group because they've been together for so long, but this is a good thing, you know. There's 4 or 5 of them have already moved on, some to college, some have actually gone back to school to do Leaving Cert. In one way it disrupts the dynamic of the group, but it also encourages the others to think, you know, maybe I could do the same.
Full time at college.
Are you?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
The FEI course. Football, coaching kids and all, going to different schools now.
And did the Ballyrunners help you get into that, or how?
Yeah, that's where I heard from the Ballyrunners. I got into the Ballyrunners, and then the FEI come up to speak to us. Then I got into it. So it's delighted. If I pass me out cert now in college, I have a chance to go over to America to coach over there. Like I know 2 people over there now, like coaching said it's brilliant. So if I pass me out cert, I'm going to look into it anyway.
But they will all finish, even though they've gone on to do other projects and other training, they will all finish, they will all do the charity fun run together, and they will all graduate together. The programme itself doesn't take an awful lot of money to run. Now, our managers and the management of the job centre and the probation service really have given us great backing, because they allow us the time, myself and Rachel, they do allow us the time to put into these young people.
But when you think of value for money, 10 grand for the guts, as I said, of 12 young people to participate in this full programme 3 days a week, I suppose if you had more money, you'd be possibly able to take more people on, but you'd be able to do much more activities.
And I personally think it would save an awful lot of money. You know, it's a very good programme and there's great progression from it, so it really saves an awful lot of money. It's a lot cheaper than people being in prison.
Like there's a lot of young people kind of over the years that we've seen have a natural aptitude to working with kind of younger, more vulnerable young people, and that have shown leadership qualities, good mentoring qualities. So you'd like to empower them and ultimately upskill them.
There's going to be a lot of young teenagers out there with nothing to do, bored, and they're going to turn to crime and drugs, whereas if there was youth workers like me and a lot of other youth workers to take them off the streets and keep them occupied, like what Pat and Rachel are doing for us, well then there's going to be less teenagers that are going to be turning to drugs and crime. So that's where I'm going to go from here anyways, after the Goshka. I'm going to go and do that year's course in youth work training.
What would your ideal job be?
I'd love to work in the gym. I'd love to work in the gym or something, because I did that and I enjoy it more than anything, do you know what I mean?
To be a chef, probably. I was something I'd like to do, you know what I mean? Something I'd like to be, just, you know what I mean, as for a career.
Well, you have something set up now, landscaping personally, so the help of God that pulls through now just after the Christmas, and I'll have a year job there now for the year 2014, full stop, straight in working.
The big thing about it is that it's not specifically for them. There's 2,000 or 3,000 people take part in this run. So just like anybody else taking part in a charity fun run, you know, but it might be a big thing for somebody.
So it's for the Simon Community 5 Mile Fun Run, and I guess this is kind of accumulation of everything the Ballyrunners have done over the past few months, and it's an opportunity for them, I suppose, to do something for a good cause and to celebrate what they've achieved so far. So I'm here mainly just to support them and show support for them. A falling star fell from your heart and landed in my arms. I screamed aloud as it tore through them, and now it's left me blind.
So year 5, we're frozen, but we got there.
Exhausted.
The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark. No dawn, no day. I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart.
Once they get that belief, they can go on, and that's really what the Ballyrunners is about, that they move on. This is not about taking them off the streets for 6 months and having something nice to do. This is about them moving on and doing positive things in their life and influencing, you know, people that are not involved in Ballyrunners but in their community.